just me, Arlicia, aka Magata, the Divine Plant Lead, here today to talk to you about repotting your plants. Now, repotting your plants depends on a few things. One of the things is the pot size. So you wouldn't repot a plant like this size into a pot size like this, because what would happen is that the actual roots would grow in the pot, throughout the pot first, before you see any significant growth at the top. So it would be best if you repotted your plant in the size next to that plant and allow that plant to be repotted. Also, what makes a big difference is your soil type. So repotting cactuses, you would probably best get something to repot your cactuses with. Now, this company doesn't, I'm not paid to do this from this company. It's just one of the examples that you can, one of the potting examples that you could use, but make sure that you would use cactus soil for your cactuses. You can also use other mixtures for flowering plants, like your potting soils, as well as things to add moisture to the plant if there are plants that need moisture. But very important, repotting your plant to the right pot size really counts up front and first. So we're going to show you how to repot a plant. Stay tuned. And remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. We're back again, just getting prepared. As you can see, we need to repot this really badly because you can see we've got a bunch of roots at the bottom. These are way overdue. When you get to a nursery and you see roots like this, you need to really get them out of that pot fast. I usually wait for a couple of weeks to get them in the pot, but as you can see, I use the proper pot size to do that with. So you don't want to have a pot too big, and you don't want to have one, of course, not too small. You use your shears, and for me, I'm just going to cut, be careful about this because with so many roots here, I'm going to cut the bottom here out, and I'm going to be very careful about cutting on the sides before I tear and pull off those roots gently at the bottom, because there's so many roots. You really are okay with taking these roots off, but you do want to be careful as you get your plant out of here, because if you see so many roots like that, that means that the plant has really grown a whole lot and has a lot of roots in it. And in order to keep the integrity of the roots that's inside, that's not have not grown outside of the plant, you want to be very mindful about how you get this plant out. So as you can see, I'm carefully getting that plastic off gently. You want to be gentle with plants. You don't want to handle them harshly. So as you can see here, I'm being very, very careful with this. And as you can see that I'm going to be really light weight with this and cut off these other pieces here. Now, you might not have as much of a struggle as I'm having if you do not have a bunch of roots that's grown underneath the bottom of this. But this, I picked this one because this one is a challenge, and it can really be really rewarding and helpful for those that are getting their plants out. Now, as you can see down, I still have a little piece that's underneath where the roots are embedded, and so I'm going to take those roots off the top of that, but I do want to be really careful about loosening, and as you can see, I'm very carefully loosening this pot. And as I carefully loosen this pot, I'm going to ultimately cut off the area here. And as you can see, I'm gently cutting off this area. And as I gently cut off this area, I'm actually trying to make absolutely sure that I'm very gentle with the plant. So now that I'm cutting that off, you see I'm tearing those roots carefully off the top. It's so many, you don't have to worry about it. But now that I've gotten them all off, now I'm going to get the appropriate pot size and get some dirt, well, some soil. We call it soil, not dirt. But soil, it has nutrients in it, and you can see we are putting it at the base. But you could put rocks at the bottom here, and that makes for a really good drainage. But in this particular case, I did not use rocks. And I put the plant pot back into the area by which it is, and from there now I put the plant in, and as you can see me doing that and actually making room to provide the necessary soil that is needed and all that is needed for this plant. Now that you can see that everything is fitted in, and you want to kind of tuck things in carefully. As you can see, I'll cut those pieces off later. As you can see, now we got everything inside, and you kind of be gentle when you're patting things down. So now that we've gotten our plant repotted, I hope this is helpful for all those that are beginners in putting together your plant, and I hope this helps you out as you move along. So what we want to do is just kind of give you a quick view again. Hopefully you got it and you got a general understanding about what to do. But if you want to pot, like I'm showing you these guys now, if I'm going to put these together, and actually I've soon put these together, and what you want to do is get a pot size that would match these 3 pots, and measure out that pot size, and you would do similar to what I did earlier. So I'm hoping that you got enough information so that you might be able to repot your plants. So bye, take care, love you, beautiful souls.